Hello, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. This is me, I'm Sean, and as you guys know, I have changed. Maybe you know, maybe you don't know, or maybe you will understand when the video uploads. But I have changed my YouTube channel's name, and our new YouTube channel's name is Studio and Me. So I think which is much better than my first name. Not better, I really like that name, but the problem was whenever I search that name, mostly those who gets that name, like if they goes to YouTube and they search that, they get some inappropriate results. So I was not a big fan of that name, so I changed that, and the new name is Studio and Me. So if whoever want to search me, you can go and search me on YouTube. So that's not the point here. So this is my first video will be uploading on my new named YouTube channel. Kind of cringy to say. So let's say that I was supposed to record this video, I think weeks before, because the trip is already over, I'm back home. But the thing which I said, like the intro which I did, was not much kind of a big fan of my new name, because I was using the old name all since, so I didn't want to do it. And there was a small mistake which I had said, that I said I will do it in a vlogging style, but I didn't able to do it because we had another family with me. So I feel a little embarrassed to do my recordings when somebody is nearby. So anyway, nothing more to be. And this trip will be going to have like help for Madinah to Umlaj, and I think we took around 2,800 kilometers to complete this trip. So hopefully you guys enjoy it, and there's a lot of places you want to see through these videos, and there's a lot of historical places also which I'll be going to show you. So those who have been here, you can support me by subscribing, and those who have been old, you can enjoy watching my videos from now on, because from here I think the videos will be rocketed. So let's go. And I think when I'm like right now, I was going to edit my first video, then that at that time I recognized this. So really sorry for that, but let me tell you, this video is coming so soon, and you can say that this video is just recorded 2 days before the upload. This video, okay, the other all videos will be through around the Saudi Arabia, and hopefully those who want to check that out, go to my channel, and please don't forget to subscribe if you like my videos and all. So let's jump into the video, and I will see you guys there. So everything aside, we have started our trip, and to give you guys a proper idea throughout the trip, I have arranged a map with 7 locations, and there are several small places also that I have visited for food and other needs. One is Madinah, Umluj, Al-Wajh, Duba, Tabuk, Hail and Hakil. So there are 7 places which I have marked. Some of them which we have only passed, but some of them are which we have stopped and all. So the first right here is one of our major stops. This is one of the beaches situated in a place called Umluj. First of all, Saudi Arabia has really not much into tourism. Till recently, they have started events and programs in their major cities. According to the same records, about 10 million people visited Saudi Arabia, but not as a tourist, as for religious purposes. Now, coming to Umlaj, talking about Umlaj, Umlaj is a small town to the northwest side of Saudi Arabia and bordered to the Red Sea. It's a beautiful place to visit if you are a natural lover. So this place which you can see is Umlaj, and throughout the area we had entirely a sea facing area, which is a really beautiful area we can enjoy. This is the most naturally area we can spend time in. So we were two families, as I said, we were two families. We were enjoying, they were in their car, we were in our car. So visiting from one place to another, we had a different feeling at every stop, and every place is different on their own ways. So we had our second stop in one of the historical places called Madian. Speaking of Madian, this is resembles to a similar place in Medina, nearby Medina, called Madain Saleh, which has been listed by UNESCO for the World Heritage Site. As a fact, Saudi does not have one but at least 3 Nabatean cities, which is Domat al-Jandal in Al Jawf province and Al Bada in Tabuk province. Including that, there is 3. So in Madian, they are not muchly recognized as a places in Saudi Arabia as an abandoned city. Throughout many scholars, they agree that Al-Bada is an ancient city of Madian, but there is no proof to support this says. So many people says Al-Bada is a city which was or which were or is still was a city of from Madian, but there are no any kinds of proof which they can show for these kinds of talks. So currently we are at that place, the Madian. So resembling at this time when we are there, we had a special feelings for that places, as this is one of the historical places happened, and seeing those kinds of things, the caves, the way they lived, their graves and the steps and the old heritage type, we had the feeling of that different kinds of feeling when we feel that we are at that place where some history has happened. And if you can see, there are caves in front of me which is carved into big rocks of mountains, which is really into their culture at the olden times. So they said that there were two type of cities. One was which is carved into mountains, and one was like normal built type at the two different timeline. So walking into this cave, you can realize that this place is too small or has a less height span. So when we enter the cave, we can see that our head is almost touching the roof, and many of who are in height, they can like hit their head on top. So according to this, I think that at that time the people were had only this height. At our time we have an average height of 5'6" and more, but at that time I think the people who lived there had a small height. So this is some of the some of the graves which is at this place. I think there are 16 graves included in this area. So that was one of the major attraction in this area, and they had given us a board, a information board, in which they have properly written and showed whatever the history which is at that place. So for me, I didn't wanted to go through many of it, like bore you guys, but show you how exactly was every single caves which we can visit. So I think it's about 15 kilometers surrounding a circular area, and inside that they have still preserved every single caves and mountains without any damages like made to them. I think you can see in other places, they usually what they do is they flattens the area to build another cities or something, or expand the cities. But some of these heritage areas are never destroyed. They have kept that places. Nowadays, like when it was before, there was no way for if a people or some people comes and they want to see these places, there were no way they could have found out this is here unless there's some scholars who have studied these places. But now when we are going to visit these places, there are signs, and they have provided now this location in maps by which you can go and visit these areas. So this area is around few kilometers from Madinah. I think it's about 500 kilometers or 600 kilometers from Madinah to get to here, and this is one of the mostly visited areas which we are most enjoyed areas, because we know some history has happened here. So when we went there, so those who are going there, take my suggestion, when you're going there, you need mostly know the history. You have to study the history first. You should know the history, what has happened there, how has happened there, what was the results. So after then only when you visit this place, you will get much nicer idea of this place. So every single places which you can see here is so small in height, and I literally don't know why there are small compartments in these caves. I think they used to meant for some purpose, but I don't know. I think maybe for sleep and all. So when I say there is a resembling area in nearby, not nearby, about this much space from Medina, distance from Medina, it's called Mada in Saleh. At that place, you can see the carving on the rocks were really tall. So if you search in Google Maps or something else, you can see that the carvings you see here is small, but similarly the carvings on the rocks were really high until it touched the top of the maybe it will be a long or really high mountains, and the carving will touch to the top of the mountain. So at that time I can say that the people had that much of heights, but in this area we can see the people had only this much of height. So now what the government has done is they has provided paths and steps where you can roam around through the area. There is no entry fees, there is no any forms or anything, you can just visit. There's a time and I think it's kinds of changes throughout the day or the weekends and all. So those who have been going want to go there, they can check out these areas. This is another graveyard. I can't say graveyard or grave cave because the graves here are literally inside some caves. And let me tell you some things that if you're going to this area, going into one of the caves, see, we went there as really at the 2 o'clock I think in the noon, but when we say that, it's okay that we went on a winter time, but anyway there was heat, that was hot outside, you can feel the burns from the sun. But when you go or visit inside one of these caves, you can literally feel like you have just turned on the AC. There was cold inside that caves and all. Anyway, there is heat outside there, lights, everything, like you can feel the heat outside. There was temperature high, but when you suddenly get inside the cave, you can feel the coldness from that place. And I literally can say that was just like you have just turned on the AC. From walking, when you go out, suddenly you came into some places with AC running and you can feel the cold. So, same feeling I had here. And some places were really meant high on from the ground. So there before I think there was no steps, but now when they have made, they have surrounded the area with a border, and they have given a gate. So from the gate you can drive the car to one place, and from there you have to walk. So for the walking area they have made a path and steps to the higher areas. So I think that was not much better of this place, and we were currently going to one of the highest places in this area. So this was nice that we can say about, I think, about 10 to 20 houses, maybe not 20 but 10 to 15 houses was there. I did able to cover mostly them, and there were some places which are graves. And at this place they have given you that there are 16 graves. So when I count, I can say that yes, there were 16 graves at that place. So that was correct, the information was correct and everything was correct. So anyway, this was all the main points which I want to talk about this place. But if you want to give more, let me tell you a few more things about this place. So Madian is known for being the place where the prophet Moses, which we call in English, sought refuge after escaping from Egypt, because he was the prophet of Egypt. He came into Egypt. Then from there, when he was attacked, he found and sought refuge in this place called Madian in Saudi Arabia. And he met the prophet Shuaib, who was a person living in this area at that time, who recognized Moses as a pure soul and accepted his daughter and married his daughter in further time. So after 10 years, Shuaib, the Prophet Shuaib, moved back to Egypt to free their people from, at that time, from the Pharaoh Ramesses II. And this was a small history which happened in this area. If you want to know more about this history, you can maybe Google about this history. You can go into Google and you can search Madian. So visiting such a place brings a different feeling, as I said, as we are now standing in a historical place that we have once heard about it. You can have, this has happened here, but I can't believe this happened here. We are staying here. So anyway, that was all from Madian. Sorry, I'm still getting the name Madain Saleh. So sorry for that. So Madian, and this place was one of our first major stops, and now we'll be leaving to another city, and that will be another episode. So see you guys in the next episode. Hope you guys enjoyed, and don't forget to subscribe, and bye.